everyone, and welcome to Roger E. Carlson Fieldhouse for CTN's live coverage of high school wrestling. Tonight, a Northwest Suburban Conference showdown as the Coon Rapids Cardinals host the Champlin Park Rebels. Joe Young, Howie Shapiro on the sidelines for tonight's action, and we are joined by very special guest, Coon Rapids head coach Bob Adams. Coach, thanks for joining us.
My pleasure.
And you just saw these guys the other night at a tournament over at their place, able to come away with a sizable victory. How important is it tonight to repeat that now that it's a conference match?
Well, it's always hard to beat the same guy twice. I know, these guys are all competitors, and nobody likes losing to the same guy twice. So we told our guys to start before we started tonight that we beat them on Saturday. We got to try to beat them on Thursday too. So, and the other guy across the mat, he's got a little pride, and he's going to be coming after you a little harder.
Yeah, I know it's a little different because they had, I think, 4 forfeits that evening, and now they're getting some of their wrestlers back. So, we had talked a little bit before.
Yep.
Could alter the score here this evening and try and balance it a little bit out for Champlin Park.
Yeah, they're, hopefully, I know they forfeited to us last week at, 113 pounds. So they got a new guy in there this week, or today. They also forfeited at 126 pounds, and they got a former Coon Rapids Matt Bannett wrestler at that weight in here today. So we'll see what happens.
It should be a lot of fun. You know how I know we've all known each other a long time, and we've been doing this a while. We're all wearing reading glasses, and I think when we first met, we weren't there. So
Alex Gow, and for Coon Rapids, Jack Bridenstine.
So this is the same matchup, Jack Bridenstine against Alex Gow at 106.
Yep.
Bridenstine a pin in 126 on Saturday.
Jack's been wrestling really tough. He's a smart wrestler. He's long. And now he's down to 106. He started the season at 113. He's down to 106 pounds, and he's a big 6-pounder. Last year he weighed about he was at the very minimum weight last year, which was 91 pounds last year. So he's considerably bigger.
Gets in for the double leg takedown and going to work on the mat against Gow.
he's trying to get that leverage, see if he can flip him over.
He was looking for the cradle. So, Bob, coming into this between, you had 5 guys with pins against Champlin on Saturday, but you had 3 guys that got pinned. Was there any special message to those guys that came up short in their victories, or in their matches, knowing that they might see the same guy as to how to prepare better?
Well, we watched some video earlier in the week of their matches, so hopefully they learned something from it. We send that message every week when we go to our backs, and if we get pinned, it's not like other sports where it's very humbling when you get pinned. So if you have a little bit of pride, you don't let it happen again.
Bridenstine trying to make it 2 first-period pins in the same week against Alex Gow. Gow able to kick his way out. And he's going to survive, it looks like, to the buzzer of the first round. But 3 back points will give Bridenstine a 5-0 lead going to the second period.
And a lot of those pins on Saturday were first-period pins. And usually when you get a first-period pin, it tends to repeat itself, but not always. So we'll see. Every once in a while you might catch a guy and pin him, but I think both of our teams are relatively inexperienced, and they make mistakes, and that's what happens when you make mistakes. You give up pins.
Right.
Bridenstine, an early reversal to push his lead to 7, and right back in control. And Gow spent a lot of that first period underneath, and it definitely gets tiring the longer you're there.
Yeah, we think twice about going under tall guys. Tall guys they have leverage, and sometimes it's really difficult to get away from them.
Well, you mentioned Jack's length. Rare to see a 106-pounder that long.
Yeah, and again he's put on some muscle too. So Jack's one of our hardest workers in the room. He really works hard. He's dedicated. He wants to be the best, and he's going to be tough to beat this year and in the future years.
Well, you've been doing this a long time, obviously, and if you take a look at this year's squad, what's some of your thoughts in terms of how you feel this squad is progressing through the season?
Our guys are, again, I keep repeating, we're young, and we are young, but these guys, they battle. They battle, they're learning, and they're getting better. But we had 6 kids move away at the beginning of the season. We had 1 kid quit, and I'm not using that as an excuse, but I have 7 guys in my starting lineup that have never wrestled a varsity match until this season. They never wrestled a 9th grade match. They never wrestled a JV match. And our shirts say we're throwing them to the wolves, and we kind of are throwing them to the wolves. But I believe in our coaching staff. They work very hard, and these guys have been learning. They're eager to learn, and they're athletes. We just got to learn from our mistakes.
Well, have you had teams like this over the years that have been this inexperienced?
No, this is by far our most inexperienced team we've ever had.
And Bridenstine got a little high on Gow, and Gow was able to get the reversal. So a couple of points, but Bridenstine starts in the bottom position with a 7-2 lead in the third. Only 2 matches on Saturday that went to a third period between these 2 teams.
Well, I have today's match being a lot closer, I'll tell you that. And I'm still a little nervous, but we'll see.
And yeah, you talk about the team points and staying off your back. I'm sure that is Coach Marish's message all week as well, getting prepared for this. But bonus points in all but 1 weight class last week. And if it swings from one side to the other, that can do a lot.
Yeah, and again, it's if you look at some of the top teams in the state of Minnesota, they don't go to their backs too often. So, being pinned is a sign of inexperience. But we're hoping we can get some wins tonight. You see, Jack handled this guy the first match on Saturday. This guy's giving him a good fight today.
They're kind of locked in that position a long time. Now Bridenstine able to complete the reversal. Gow keeps fighting.
And I'm sure Jack, coming off this match against this young man, I'm sure he wanted to try and repeat what he did the first time.
Well, looks like we're going to just get a decision here.
Down to the final 15.
He didn't let him
get far enough away.
Didn't let him face him. The wrestler on the bottom has to be able to face you and defend himself, and Jack didn't give him that opportunity.
So a 9-2 decision.
Score of 9-2, Jack Bridenstine.
Is there one particular weight class, Coach, that you're looking forward to seeing tonight, amongst others?
At 113 pounds for Champlin Park.
At 152 pounds, we have Hunter Allen, who Hunter didn't wrestle on Saturday. We sat him, and the guy that beat Mason majored Mason. So I'm looking forward to that match. I'm hoping Hunter can. Instead of us giving away 4, I'm hoping to get at least 4, maybe more, with Hunter.
Tyler Ribeiro on the mat for the Cardinals against Catron. Gets the early takedown.
That was a nice pancake
Yes.
he did there. Very nice.
And
he's
he's
in trouble.
got Tron in some trouble very early, right in the center of the mat. Lots and lots of first period.
Tyler's been coming on slow but sure. He's a strong kid.
He's a freshman.
Yeah. He needs to lift the head, get his hips away. Where he's lifting the head now. Hopefully, he can square his shoulders to the mat.
Still a little, just under a minute to go in this first period. Tron doing everything he can to stay off his back. Ribeiro wrestled at 120 on Saturday against Champlin Park.
He's starting to lose him. He's got to control that arm. When you get a headlock, you got to control the arm. I don't know why they call it a headlock.
Yeah.
Should be called an arm lock. Nice job, Tyler.
Yeah, nice job getting that first period pin.
1 minute 35 seconds. Tyler Ribeiro.
Is there any particular wrestler that has surprised you coming in the beginning of the season that he's really doing a nice job?
And for Coon Rapids, David Garcia.
I guess Gilbert Kostock is really done a nice job for us. He was a first-year wrestler. I think last year was his first year. He's been coming on. He's been progressing nicely, and I think next year he's going to turn the corner. So I like him.
At 120 here, we have Zach Mayo for Champlin Park. Good headlock from David Garcia. Takes him right to his back. Mayo had won by a pin over Ribeiro at 120 on Saturday. And in some trouble early on here against Garcia.
Come on, David, pin him. Control the arm. David's only an 8th grader.
Now he's in some trouble as he gets reversed.
I just lost leverage a little bit. Wasn't able to hold that.
David's strong. He's a strong kid. He's a competitor. He's a fighter. But he tries to force things that aren't there sometimes, and he gets himself in trouble. He's wrestling Zach Mayo. Zach Mayo came out of our freestyle club, our Mat Bandit club. Unfortunately, he's over at Champlin Park.
Yeah, he quickly tied this up.
The two Mayo brothers from Champlin Park are both been in our Mat Bandit club for quite a long time.
Under 10 seconds now in the first period, tied 5-5 between Mayo and Garcia. I'm not sure if the early headlock by Garcia surprised Mayo a little bit, but did a nice job of finding his way out of it and then controlling most of that first period.
Coach Marish, I love this guy. The score is 5-5, so it doesn't really matter.
Yeah, right.
Okay, it's okay. All right, red takes neutral.
It makes sense that the Cardinals would be red,
Right.
but it's not always the case.
Usually the home team is green.
Oh,
And the
okay.
visiting team is red. But you're right. Our uniforms are dominantly red, and Champlin Park is blue, so they switch it. I've known Billy Maris since high school.
Oh, have you? He's been doing it a long time like you.
Yeah. We were talking a little bit before the match. His son, Sam, a pretty impressive young athlete as a wrestler and football player at Champlin Park.
Yes, Sam and Mike.
Mike, too, yep.
They were both awesome wrestlers.
Yep.
Billy was an awesome wrestler in high school, too, and college. Billy was tough. Garcia's given up his arm. He's got to learn to control the tie-up, win the tie-up.
Well, he said he's just an 8th grader. How long has he been wrestling?
I'm not sure. All I know is I was subbing at the middle school at the beginning of the school year, and I saw him walking down the hallway, and he had his headgear tied to his backpack.
Oh.
And I thought, well, I might as well stop and talk to him. And pulled him aside, and sure enough, he was a wrestler. He came to us from Monticello.
Okay.
So every once in a while, we pick up a
I
kid.
was just going to say, it's nice to get some new kids from different schools in and build the program, increase the program numbers.
Yeah. But yeah, David's a hardworking kid.
It's good to have some youth. I mean, we talk about youth being, you know, the inexperience being something you have to overcome during the season, but the youth also means, you know, years of foundation building for the program.
Great.
The strength you have in that junior class, especially Stradsky and Wells, and that group is nice to see as well.
Yep, and those guys are hardworking guys, and they're our leaders. I'll tell you, you know, we take our lumps in the earlier weights, but once we hit 52, look out. 152 pounds, that is.
I think you have to be a tough guy to be a successful wrestler.
Well, I've been waiting for Joe and Howie to have we have a special feature match with you guys.
Are we tag team partners, or is that?
No, it's
Mono.
Oh, he'll kill me. I might have the weight advantage, but he's got the youth.
Using that term very loosely.
Okay, David's getting too high
In
here.
comparison.
See, David's trying to throw legs in, and he doesn't have enough experience to throw legs, but he's still trying. And, you know, we tell our guys, you know, when we work on a move in practice, you got to work on that move 100 times before you do it in a match.
Right. Yeah, you have to be pretty confident about it, I'm sure.
Right. And again, he's given away some points out there that an experienced wrestler would never do.
Just wants to make sure he stays off his back at this point.
2 more back points for Mayo. Now has 11-6 lead as he lets him go. Well, we saw, you know, the early takedown on the headlock by Garcia, and he tried to go for the headlock in the second period. Well, here's Mayo throwing a really good headlock and putting him in a lot of trouble. There's a pin with 24 seconds to go.
Yeah, David started out the match well, and Mayo certainly did a good job of controlling it after that.
And 126 pounds for Champlin Park, Hudson Tetrick, and for Coon Rapids, Jaden Cafe.
Hudson Tetrick for Champlin Park against Cardinal senior Jaden Caffey on senior night.
Yeah, what are you looking for from Jaden here?
Well, hopefully he stays off his back. We didn't see this guy on Saturday, so I don't know what to expect from the Champlin Park wrestler.
He got a quick start. Looked like he might get Caffey in some trouble, but
Yeah, he almost
not
had
able to
him.
get any points.
Yep.
I've been making Jaden do push-ups every time he ends up on his knees in practice. He likes to wrestle on his knees, and you know you don't want to ever be on your back,
No.
but you don't want to be on your knees either. And hopefully he's starting to get that.
So are you saying he's doing less push-ups now?
See,
Yeah,
he's on his knees right now,
Yep.
and that's what happened. He gave up 2. You cannot go to your knees.
Tetrick working it to a single leg and getting him back down. And finally able to break free.
See, he's on his knees again.
Yep, I was just going to say it.
You can't be on your knees.
Because you'll give up points.
You have no mobility when you're on your knees.
Able to survive at the end, but a couple near fall points will make it a 6-1 lead for Hudson Tetrick after the first.
Green chooses down.
Able to put him on the mat.
Jaden's probably the most well-liked kid on our team. Everybody loves him. He's got a great attitude, works hard.
Those kind of kids are essential in any locker room.
Yeah.
Tetrick able to get the quick reversal and right back where he was, goes to the half Nelson, and he's got Caffey in some trouble right in the middle of the mat. Good job kicking out.
He's got a nice lead, 10-1.
And right now, he should be building a base, sliding his left leg under. Hopefully he can do that and start to build a base and create some back pressure.
Pretty tough quarter. Nelson being administered by Tetrick, but Caffey able to get back to his feet.
That was a slam.
Yeah.
The referee should call it, and he has. 1 point.
Hopefully he's okay. Seems to be.
He looks a little wobbly.
He came down hard. Oh, yeah, he landed pretty hard on his head.
We have a trainer right there, Jeremy, watching him, and Jeremy does an awesome job with these kids.
He's the best.
One point escape, Brett.
Jeremy's job is to protect the kids from the coaches. I told him that the other day because I always want our guys on the mat competing, and you know, back in the good old days, you bump your head, you get back out there, or you tape up your injury and get back out there. And coaches like me, you know, we want our guys on the mat so we can compete. And so Jeremy's job is to protect the kid from the coaches, and
does a good job at it.
And he does a good job.
Yep, he took very good care of my son when he was a student athlete here that suffered in this very building a severely fractured nose.
Wow. Yeah, Jeremy, he's got a lineup of kids outside of his door all the time.
We're just trying to figure out what he had in the spray bottle, because whatever he sprayed on those baseball pants and shoes, the blood came right out.
Yeah, Jeremy took care of me when I fell on the court attempting a half-court shot, and I popped my hamstring. Yeah, that was an embarrassing moment.
Only I could have been here.
That was
for
on
that.
film. Yeah, I was going up for a shot at half court, and as I went up, my hamstring popped, and I fell. I fell on the court on my back in front of everybody in the gym.
Ouch.
Yeah, you can go to YouTube and see it.
On YouTube?
Yeah.
On YouTube forever.
In slow motion.
Well, Jaden needs to start getting his knees out to the side if he can. The top man's running a parallel ride, which makes it hard to get away when they're parallel. The rules state that the top man has to come out to the side. And if they don't, if the referee allows them to ride parallel, well, it makes it really hard on the bottom guy to get away.
Right.
If we can keep this to a major, that'll actually save us 2 team points because we got pinned at this weight on Saturday. Oh, I'm sorry. No, actually, we won this weight on Saturday by forfeit. So here's one of the differences. We won this weight by
talked about
forfeit. Yeah, and now we're getting majored, so that's a 10-point swing right there.
Tetrick able to break him back down, a 13-point lead. Working to get him turned over.
Come on, fight,
Turn this
Jalen.
into a tech fall. That's a huge bridge.
One thing about Caffey, when he does go to his back, nobody fights harder.
With a victory by
He gives you he gives you it at 100%.
Hudson Tetrick.
So that'll put the score 11-9 now in favor of
At
Champlin.
132 pounds for Champlin Park, Matthew Ennin, and for Coon Rapids, Bernard Noah.
Who did they announce at this weight? Hennon?
Yeah.
Yeah. Matthew Ennin.
We didn't see this
Very
kid on
quick
Saturday.
turn for, or takedown for Mua. Mua able to win by a
1 escape. Green.
decision on Saturday.
I think he won 8-6, right?
Correct. Against Felinski. Couple of freshmen out there. 2-point takedown for Ennin.
See how we've been working on a Granby in the room, and he tried to do the Granby there, but he went the wrong way.
Ennin trying to get control of that left arm.
You know, I always try and to listen to Coach Tronson and what he has to say from the sidelines.
You have to try to listen to
Well,
Coach
no, I
Johnson?
try to pay attention to hear exactly what he's saying. I can hear him.
I can hear him from home.
I can hear him in my sleep.
I bet you
I'm
can.
sure.
He's got a lot of energy.
Yes, he does.
And our team thrives off of
Oh, I
it.
bet. You know, it's interesting. Yeah, I saw that Nick Creamier is the coach at Shakopee. Are there a lot of your former Cardinals that are coaching in the high school ranks? Because I thought that's so cool to see him being a coach over there.
Well, there's a few. I'm not sure. I mean, I guess I'd have to think about it. But there's a few coaches out there, yeah.
Noah Glenn.
Coach Glenn's with us
Yes,
still, yeah.
absolutely.
I mean, that was the easy one.
Yeah.
They're right in front of you.
Coach Glenn's our cradle master
Yeah.
in the room. He does it well. He teaches it well. And that's our coaches on our staff is they're good teachers. They understand what they have to teach and how to teach it. They break the moves down step by step. And I think sometimes over the years, I think, you know, some of the teams that we've had is, you know, we've kind of overachieved in some years. That, you know, we had some really great seasons, and kids that were very, again, young and inexperienced, but just not as many as we have on this year's team.
There's only one way to gain experience.
Yeah.
Out on the mat.
Well, that's why I try to get our kids to wrestle over the summer in our Mat Bandit Club. And if there's any kids out there listening right now in CTN land, the way to get better is to be on the mat. You got to put time in. The more time you put in, the better you're going to get.
Yeah, you put together such a good program, and kids would be fortunate to be able to learn from all you guys.
Well, and Bob, you said you got to get that, and that's absolutely true with anything. When there are kids who want to play other sports, are there certain sports that help more directly, I guess, for wrestling than others?
Well, wrestling and football go hand in hand. Football players have to hand fight at the line of scrimmage. The leverage that they learn. My boys played football, and they were the smallest kids on the team. And
they were tough.
They were tough. Wrestling makes you tough.
Yes.
And and the thing that I wish parents would understand, I wrote a long email today to a parent about our scholarships. The parent was interested in our scholarships that we give away, and I spent a little over an hour writing an email explaining that we have these scholarships that we give to kids to go to college, and very few kids take advantage of it. Last year or 2 years ago, we gave out $36,000 to 6 kids to go to college. That year we had 10 seniors, and 6 of them got scholarships to go to college. So.
That's a great opportunity for kids to take advantage of.
Yeah, and it's not based on how good you are. It's do you put the time in?
Right.
Because if you put the time in, you're going to make our program better.
A highly contested battle here in the early goings at 132. A 1-point lead for Matthew Ennin of Champlin Park.
Bernard is down by 1 point here, third period. Down by 1, he needs to get to his feet, get an escape. This is a match we won on Saturday. There we go, we got a tie.
There it is.
Goes in deep for a double. Unable to finish it.
I like the thought, though.
So he's given up hand control. He can't allow his opponent to control his hands. Bernard trying to get a fireman's carry. Jump sides, jump over, pull your head out, come on.
10 seconds.
Hang on to that leg. Hang on to that leg, Bernard. Hang on to that leg.
Oh. Just in the final 2 seconds.
That's a tough one.
And able to get the leg free to complete the 2-point takedown, break the tie, and get the decision for the Champlin Park Rebels.
So they increased the lead for Champlin Park to 14-9.
The Malachi Zhang against Gilbert Costa.
For Champlin Park, Malachi Zhang, and for Coon Rapids.
Gilbert pinned this kid on Saturday, so we need a pin here.
Well, I know you mentioned his name earlier as a guy that's improved as the season's gone along.
He has. He's getting better. I'm proud of Gilbert. He comes to work every day. He puts his head down and he just grinds.
Yeah, these next couple of weight classes looks to be the same matchups from Saturday, and it was 2 pins for your guys at 138 and 145.
Right.
Do you worry about guys, again, going back to that, seeing the same guy twice in such a short period? Do you worry about overconfidence? Oh, I got that kid on Saturday, it shouldn't be a problem?
Yeah, I do worry about it because I always give the guy the advantage who lost the match previously. If it was close, the other guy usually wins. You know, we pinned this guy on Saturday, so hopefully we can do it again. You know, just because you pin a kid doesn't mean you dominated him.
Right. And you know, this is when your kids get pinned. Hopefully they lose from that, or they learn from that experience for the next time.
Well, Malachi Jong with the early takedown. Now the reversal finished by Kostok. And working on that cradle underneath.
So the bump and jump, he's going to bump him with his hip, try to bump him over to the backside. He's bumping him, bump, and pull him back. And he should get it, hopefully. Short time.
Down to the final 5 seconds.
Got it, got 2. Maybe more. You get 2 or 3. You got
2 points.
You got 2. All right, we won the first period. And again, Gilbert is, you know, from last year to this year, he's, you know, I look at the records every year. You know, we get a kid who might have a losing record. He's 5-10 one year. Then the next year he's 10-10 or whatever. And then, you know, you can just see him turn the corner. And, you know, for Gilbert next year, I expect him to win 20 matches. If he puts some time over the summer, he will.
You know, the cool thing for you, Bob, is that you see these kids improve over the years, and it's got to feel great for you that knowing what you and your staff are doing are really helping them as young men improve what they do.
Well, we try. It's just like any coach does. You know, you try to look for improvement. Oh, watch yourself. Pin him. Come on, Gilbert. Yeah.
The pin right on the edge of the mat early in this second period. Fall time of 2:37.
Well, you said you needed a pin, and you got one.
That was a nice, good win for Gilbert.
There it is.
Put the Cardinals back in front, 15-14, slimmest of margins.
For fans out in CTN Nation, a lot of them don't understand, but at the beginning of the match, they do a coin flip as to who presents first at each weight. So if we win the coin toss, we choose odd or even, meaning whatever weight we choose. If we choose odd, we present on the odds. We have to present first, and then the other coach gets their matchup. And that makes a huge difference sometimes in a close dual meet.
Nikabu Bagana, the wrestler for Champlin Park. Tristan Hargrave on the mat for the Cardinals. Hargrave pinning Bagana in the first period on Saturday. Got caught and nearly in trouble, but able to kick his way out of it. Bagana gets the first points with the takedown. And that, you know, I think I see fewer guys now than used to wearing the knee pads, but I'm noticing Tristan out there with the shoulder harness. As a wrestler, if you see an opponent that has a brace or an aid of some nature on some joint, are you not going to attack that?
Some guys will, sure.
I mean, it makes sense.
Yeah. I mean, Yeah, I guess we have some guys with sprained thumbs. We're not going to see our heavyweight tonight, Hayden Skillings. He's got a broken thumb.
Okay.
Oh, no.
So he's
That's
out.
not good.
But he wrestled on Saturday with his thumb, and I told him, I said, tape up both thumbs so the guy doesn't know which one is hurt.
That was smart.
Yeah, so.
Well, and that I guess was what initially I thought, because guys would wear a brace on one knee.
Yeah.
And if I'm the opponent, I guess I would look at that being the place to look for my takedown. Good reversal for Tristan Hargrave late in this first period, and we'll go to the second, tied at 2.
I see you've got a lot of youth at that heavyweight position.
Yeah, we do. We have a
They're
lot
all
of big
sophomores.
boys. We have a lot of big boys.
Yeah.
And Hayden, a pretty good sophomore.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
And I tell our guys, one of the first things you should look for is, are they wearing a knee pad? And like this wrestler from Champlin Park, he's wearing a knee pad. That tells you which side he's going to shoot on.
Right.
So little subtleties like that, experienced wrestlers look for. So, if he's wearing a knee pad on his right leg, he's going to be attacking my left leg.
Right.
So we've been working on this roll, this Peterson roll, and Tristan's doing a nice job with this roll. Some of our guys are starting to pick it up. He needs to let go of the leg and get control of his opponent. There you go. Okay, we got to turn this guy, Tristan. Come on.
One of the many things I love about coming to wrestling matches like this, you have coaches in the stands.
Oh, yeah.
It's the best. I mean, it is. It's just so much fun. The atmosphere here is always great.
Yeah, it would have been fun to see Albert Lee here tonight. They're a tough team.
Yeah, they're
and they travel with a lot of fans.
Yep. Yeah, well, unfortunately the weather, I know, kept them from making the journey up.
Our conference schedule came out last night, so I was able to look at that, and they've changed some things on the schedule. They've made pretty much everything a triangular next year. I don't know how CTN is going to like that, but you'll be able to see two conference teams on the same night.
Splits here from
on,
Tristan Hargrave, and Pagana in a lot of trouble.
Oh, there it is. There it is. Oh, come on, ref. Oh, he was pinned.
He looked like it.
Come on, Tristan.
All triangulars next year?
Pretty much.
Yeah.
So, we'll see Totino Grace, who we never see. You might see Totino Grace along with one of the other conference squads, Totino Grace and Blaine. Who knows? I don't remember who was who, but all triangulars next year.
Well, that should be interesting. What was the thought process behind doing that? Do you know?
I'm not sure. The athletic director from Rogers High School does our section or our conference schedule.
Well, I was curious seeing Albert Lee on the schedule for the triangular tonight. What would it have been, you against Albert Lee, then Albert Lee against Champlin, and then end with you and Champlin?
No, our conference rules require the conference match to go first unless both coaches agree.
Okay.
And Billy wanted to go first, so it would have been us and Champlin Park, then Champlin Park and Albert Lee, and then us and Albert Lee would not have been happy.
the latest possible. Well, and I wondered that because for that exact reason. You want to be as fresh as possible for the conference bout of the evening.
Right. And, if you put Champlin Park out there against Albert Lee in the first match, if one of Champlin Park's kids gets injured, well, then they lose him for our duel.
Oh, he's got him almost turned.
Come on, Tristan, put him away here.
Got close with the splits in the second period.
Yeah, Tristan's been coming on. He's been working hard in the room every day. He doesn't miss practice. He's one of the grinders. up by 9 points, so 4-point decision or a major if he can hold it.
Hargrave trying several different strategies to get Begana turned. Running out of time down to the final 15. Four-point major decision. Not quite as good as the pin, but bonus points are always good when they're on your side of the scoreboard.
That's for sure.
And that's how it will end, an 11-2 decision in favor of Riley or Tristan Hargrave of the Cardinals.
Tristan Hargrave. At 152 pounds for Champlin Park, Mitch Knight, and Coon Rapids, Hunter Allen.
Mitch Knight for Champlin Park taking on Cardinal captain Hunter Allen.
Well, Hunter certainly wrestled well this season.
Hunter has done a fabulous job.
Able to get the takedown early on Knight. And Knight with a major decision at 152 on Saturday, as Hunter did not compete in that contest.
No, we elected to give Lattery a shot on Saturday and sat Hunter, and Hunter wasn't happy about it.
I'm sure not. He's a
But
competitor.
He wanted to wrestle, and that's what I like to see. But we also try to give some of our other kids some. We haven't seen enough of Lattery this year. I wanted to see what he had, because he's been injured all year, and
Right.
he just came back. So we gave Chris Lattery a match, and Hunter sat and watched, but he became the captain and the cheerleader as for Chris Lattery when Chris was wrestling. So today he gets his shot.
Well, hoping he can have better results, as Knighthead again won that by major decision, 13-3.
He does that nice side headlock. He's got that throw by and develops right into a side headlock and right to the mat. And a lot of times he'll arch his back and bring the guy right to his back with an inside trip. He's been doing that all year long.
Yeah, we had fun watching him this past season playing football. He had a nice year for the Cardinals.
Yeah, he's a hard-nosed competitor.
Solid interviewer, too.
Yeah.
It was a solid interview of both, because he was a captain for football too, I believe.
Oh, was he really? I didn't know that.
Was he?
Was he?
I don't know.
I think he was.
Well, if he wasn't,
I know that
he should have been.
I know that that he was a captain interview for wrestling, obviously, and he did a marvelous job.
No, he's matured and he's developed into a really good wrestler.
I'm trying to.
Another
That
look
side
at that headlock for the second takedown of that period.
The thing is, he got his hair cut too. I like guys that cut their hair
short,
like mine.
Yeah, like yours. Maybe he was doing it after yours.
Yeah. If you've noticed, I told all these kids, I said, for Christmas, you guys could all give me a nice Christmas present and cut your hair, but of course nobody did.
That's right. I bet your hair didn't look like that in high school, did it?
It kind of did.
Oh, did it? Was it short?
I had the bowl cut,
All right.
back then.
Yeah, not mine. I know not yours. Yours was like really long.
Yes.
Mine was long, but not as long as yours.
No. Yours was disco.
Mine was disco. It was definitely had the shag cut.
The 70s. What was Jack Tripper's friend, Larry?
Oh yeah,
Things
Larry.
Company.
Exactly. Yeah.
Very quick sit out by
He's fast.
Hunter Allen to start the third period with or second period with a reverse.
I'm really hoping that Hunter can qualify for the state tournament.
That'd be
this
great.
year. I don't, off the top of my head, I don't remember who's in the section at his weight, but I'm sure it's a tough weight.
Well, I think these next couple of guys really, where you have some guys who can really make some noise at that section tournament. You know, you talk about Hunter Allen, Carter Skratsky coming up next, Kenny Wells at 182.
I call that murderer's row, those three guys.
Well, and if you can, you know, Kostek and Hargrave start turning in consistent wins for you, this team gets that much more dangerous.
Yeah.
And in all of those names, only one senior, being Hunter Allen, on the mat right now.
This guy's giving him a little tougher
Yeah.
time than I thought he would. I thought Hunter would chew him up, but this guy's a tough kid. Keeps getting caught with that leg. He's not blocking the elbow when he's doing his go behind. Keeps getting caught out in front.
Oh, blood again.
We had a T-shirt we were going to put out this year for our team slogan called, on the back of it, we were going to say, "You're going to need blood time."
I like it.
I like that.
Wrestling, the only sport with blood time.
But I'm not sure it was politically correct.
Yeah, so
we
not the second
didn't do
thought
it.
about it. Yeah.
I'll tell you, every time that you have an athlete that ends up, you know, with a bloody nose that requires gauze to be put up there
Yeah.
or whatever, I just think about how hard it's got to be to breathe
Oh, yeah.
and continue to compete if you can't breathe through your nose.
Yeah, my son Ryan was a bleeder.
Was he?
He bled every match, all the time.
Well, except he went his whole senior year without giving up a single takedown.
Right.
Yeah,
I will never forget
Yep.
that fact.
yeah.
Your kid, he was fun to watch.
A lot of fun. Especially after coming back from the broken foot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I just think back all the great wrestlers you've had here over the years.
We've had a lot of good ones.
You really have.
Our heavyweight class has been phenomenal
Yeah.
over the years. I mean, it just one year after the other, we reload. I mean,
Well, and if I'm not mistaken, Ryan was the first state champion in a long time. And then you had like 4 or 5 champions over the next 5 or 6 years.
yeah, it took us a little while to get a few in there, but we got a few. Oh, come
Good
on.
headlock from Knight, and Allen went right to his back, but rolled right out of it. And if
Come
he
on,
can
get
his
out of
head
there.
loose,
Keep that leg hooked. You'll be good. To reversal.
2-point reversal red.
Well, we got a match here.
We do.
8-7 in favor of Hunter Allen. 1:15 left in the third. And we've got a little more cleanup to be done.
A little more blood time.
Okay, Hunter, let's close this match out. Here we
Knight
want to.
is got the gauze stubbed up there now, but wow, quick move off the whistle, tied it right up.
Okay, he needs to be patient here. Don't force it. If it's not there, oh, come on, land on top. 2. All right. Beautiful. Nice job.
2-point near fall, Red.
That was a quick 4 point.
Yeah, it was.
Knight was able to sit out of that last one real quick.
He's a strong kid.
Allen able to break him back down this time. 30 seconds left.
Nice side bust. Got 15 seconds left.
And those back points after those last back points are huge, because even if you give up an escape or even a reversal, you still have a little more cushion. But he'll hold on for the buzzer and take the 12-8 win.
Decision, score of 12-8, Hunter Allen.
That'll make it 22-14 in favor of Coon Rapids.
At 160 pounds for Champlin Park, Hayden Ortiz, and for Coon Rapids, Carter Stradsky.
We talked about Carter Stradsky, a junior captain, his second year being a captain. And just the fact that he was a captain as a sophomore says a lot about that young man's character.
Yeah, he's a good kid. Hard worker. He's dangerous too, man. You blink and it could be over.
Well, this is the same opponent he faced on Saturday, able to get the pin in just 59 seconds. But as you talk about, that's some motivation.
2-point takedown, Red.
Able to catch him in a headlock, but then gave it up quickly. And now Ortiz trying to make it a reversal, and he did.
2-point reversal, Red.
Carter got one back just as quickly.
Well, I was just a little surprised after the takedown how quickly he gave up on the headlock.
I've never seen that front head roll before. That was kind of fun to watch. Ooh, crazy. I mean, Carter would rather turn it into a fist fight.
Oh yeah,
He's that kind of a wrestler. He just wants to fight.
he's scrappy.
He's a scrapper. He's tough as nails.
A 4-2 lead here late in the first period. Looked like he was trying to work the splits. Trying to get hold of that left leg of Ortiz underneath. Breaks him back down right before the end of the first period. A 4-2 lead for Carter Stradsky.
Red defers. Green chooses down.
Carter's got a little bit of an attitude when he steps on the mat. And
Well, you need that, don't you?
Yeah, I was just gonna say,
Yeah,
for a
he-
wrestler, you need that.
yeah, he does.
I can't imagine there's a lot of wrestlers that go out there with a real cheery disposition.
Yeah, well, Sometimes you wonder.
Unless they're really, really good, and they're so good they can be a nice guy and still win.
And so confident.
Reversal for Ortiz will make it a 4-all tie.
All right, Carter's going to get to his feet. He's going to headlock this kid and pin him. I hope.
It's a prediction.
You've heard it. You've heard it here first.
I hope.
I hope so as well.
If I see that happen before the end of the second period, I'm going to ask you to pick some numbers for
Lottery
me.
numbers?
Yeah. Come on, Carter, get out of there. I do the lottery pool for all the middle school teachers.
Okay.
And we've been doing it for 10 years, and
Wow.
we haven't won yet. So
Yeah, the odds are tough on that one.
yeah. That was
Pretty spectacular escape there, and what do you know? There's the headlock and right to his back, and Ortiz in a lot of trouble at the edge of the mat. Skradsky putting a lot of pressure on.
That is tight. He enjoys this position.
There it is. Good to see.
Good job, Carter.
With victory by fall and a time
That was a really nice Granby he did to get away. I love watching the kids when they execute a move that we've been working on in practice, and they get out here in live competition and do it. That was a nice Granby roll.
So what are you looking for from Chris here?
Well, let's see, who do we have?
Diego Connell
Yep.
for Champlin Park against
Yeah.
Chris Lattery.
Yeah, we got pinned last time. So hopefully Chris can stay in the match. Chris just is coming off of an injury. He's been hurt most of the season. And Chris has good technique. You know, he's been on the mat for, you know, he's wrestled a lot over the years. He's one of the kids that does have experience.
Well, I'm assuming he's the younger brother of Nick Lattery.
Yep. Nick comes in and
Younger but larger brother.
Yeah.
Didn't Nick wrestle at like 130, 135,
Yeah,
somewhere down there?
38, yeah. Nick is very tall. He's gotten taller in the last couple of years.
I didn't grow in height after high school. Width, yes. Height, not so much.
Me too, width. Of course, I was wide in high school, too. Not tall. Never tall.
I still look up to you.
Yeah, you
Well, I'm 25% Filipino, so that's where I get my height from too.
Not a lot of action in this first period at 170.
And that's okay. This guy pinned us last time, so we just want to hang in there, stay out of trouble, keep the match close, and try and win it at the end. Sprawl.
So no score after the first period. Connell will choose the down position for second period. Connell with a second period pin on Lattery on Saturday.
See that? See how he bailed out, went to his belly right there? That's an experienced wrestler. Where an inexperienced wrestler would have held on, and been in bigger trouble. And that's the subtleties of wrestling that the inexperienced kids don't have. Is they hang on, and they get in bigger trouble. They don't know when to let go.
Connell's got that left arm of Lattery bent up behind him pretty good. And a warning for potentially dangerous.
Come on, Chris, stand up, get one here. You got 1 minute 14 seconds.
Connell walking him around, trying to get the cradle on Lattery.
See how Chris is controlling that hand? That's, a sign of experience. We preach hand control in all positions, and some kids can do it, some kids can't. If you got the hand, it's pretty hard for him to cradle you.
Going right back to it, and again, Lattery fights off that left hand.
You just can't lay there and let the guy beat the snot out of you.
Yeah.
All right, we've made it through 2 periods.
Yeah, just the 2 points for Champlin Park so far.
Red chooses neutral.
So back to the neutral position where we saw the first period end in a draw, and maybe 1 shot apiece. A lot of hand fighting up top in that first period.
Yeah, those are tough calls. You go on the feet. He wrote us out the second period. If you go down and you can't get away, well, then you lose. But you get a takedown right here, maybe. Come on, Chris.
It was close. He was close to that.
Scrambling's got to get off of his hip. He's got to get off of his hip.
Connell able to get his head out and turn it into a takedown. And double his lead to 4-0.
See, the nice thing about wrestling is this kid pinned us last time. Well, hopefully he doesn't pin us here.
Well, and if you're Chris Lattery and you get off without a pin, in a way, that's a win.
Right.
But he's in some trouble now.
He is.
If he can fight out, he can save our team some points.
There you got it.
Didn't work.
Yep.
But one of the neat things about wrestling is the kid can only score 6 points.
Right.
5 minutes, 39 seconds.
Where in basketball, one player can dominate the game.
Oh, we've seen it.
182 pounds for Champlin Park, Victor Ortiz. And for Coon Rapids, Kenny Wells.
Victor Ortiz for Champlin Park will get Cardinal captain Kenny Wells. Wells with a pin on Ortiz on Saturday in the first period.
Kenny's one of our captains.
I was going to say, he's had a nice season as well.
Yeah, he's tough. I really love watching him wrestle. He's a smart wrestler.
Well, and he's one of the guys, I know I've talked to him as a captain at the beginning of the season for the previews a couple of times now, as he was a captain, a sophomore and a junior now. And he talks about it. He wrestles a lot in the off season and really attributes a lot of his success during the school year to what he does over the summer.
Yeah, he puts a lot of time on the mat. I know he's a fantastic football player. I think he's, thinking about playing college football.
Yeah.
Yeah, I thought it was interesting, you know, as we were talking about, when I did the interviews, we were talking to, of course, Kenny and Hunter Allen, both members of that defense that had such a phenomenal year. And we talked a little bit earlier about that. Those two sports go hand in hand. I think especially maybe the defensive side of the football field, because they really like to hit.
Yeah.
And then they come out here and they get to hold, something they weren't able to do all fall.
That is true. A lot of good offensive linemen were high school and college wrestlers as well.
That was a nice shot by this Champlin Park wrestler. Oh, there you go. Kenny caught him again. Kenny's got great balance. Great balance. That Victor Ortiz had him dead to rights, and Kenny just outbalanced him.
Down to under 10 seconds. Ortiz trying to finish it with a pin before that buzzer sounds. But Ortiz will last at least to the second period.
Yeah, he had him close. But goes into the second period with a 7-1 lead.
Red choice, red defers. Green chooses down.
I'm not sure if Champlin Park's going to bump any of their guys up for the last three weights, but we'll see. I don't see anybody warming up over there. So this might be the last match.
1 point escape, green.
I think Ortiz out there just doing everything he can not to give anything up.
Well, I was just going to say that. He's just trying to get his positioning so he doesn't get thrown to the mat.
Looking at Hunter Allen over there across the mat. Looks like he might have hurt something. Hope not.
Oh, I hope not as well.
Wells trying to toss a couple of different times, but Ortiz able to stay in front of him.
Looking for a body lock.
Hunter over on the other side getting a little bit of ice. Hopefully it's nothing more than a little ice and ibuprofen can handle.
Sounds like every night for me.
But those nights do become more and more frequent the older we get. That was a common thing in our house when Aaron was growing up, and bumps and bruises, hockey, baseball. Yep, just a little ice and ibuprofen, and
you'll be fine.
Yeah.
The broken nose he got a little more than
I think
ice
so.
and ibuprofen for, but
it takes a little more care for that.
Well, after Jason, my son Jason graduated from high school, he'd been out of wrestling for a couple of years, and he wanted to just give the Olympic ladder a shot in Greco, and he was a pretty darn good Greco wrestler, and he wanted to give it a shot. In his final match, he lifts the guy up and the guy does a back trip to him, which is illegal. You can't grab the legs in Greco-Roman.
Right.
But the guy grabbed his legs and landed on his jaw, and he broke his jaw.
Ooh.
Oh, I didn't know that.
I didn't know that either.
It was the only injury he ever had.
Wow.
And he,
Off an illegal move.
yeah, off an illegal move. He had 4 bolts in his jaw.
Wow.
He was saying that, I broke my jaw. I said, I don't think you can talk with a broken jaw.
Yeah.
Well, evidently you can.
He's that tough.
Yeah. Evidently you can talk with a broken jaw. Injuries are part of the sport, though.
Yeah, I'm sure-
You know,
I'm
just
sure of it.
gotta try to deal with them the best you can and move on. McKinney's up by 7 with about 45 seconds to go here. We should hopefully try to get one more point out of this. Team point. You can get a takedown. Uh-oh. Might not happen. It's getting a little clumsy there. It's got to stay in better position on top. All right, there's a nice reshot. Take him down. Come on, put him on his back.
2-point reversal, red.
Like a nice 11-4 win.
With a victory by decision, the score of 11-4, Kenny Wells.
Yeah,
I guess that's it, huh?
Looks like that's
yeah,
it.
looks like that's what Coach Marish is signaling. They originally had
At 195 pounds,
no one at 195 or 220.
Nathan Caminati, Champlin Park is open.
Nathan gets the win.
Caminati will get a
Yep.
forfeit win on senior night.
At 220 pounds for Coon Rapids, Nathan Hollister, Champlin Park is open.
Nathan has been doing a great job, or Aiden Hollister has been doing a great job. Caminati's been doing a great job. I wish Caminati would have been coming out as a 9th grader. He would have been such a good wrestler.
Aiden Tellison,
He's a big kid, too.
Champlin Park is open.
And Aiden Telvison, first varsity win there, albeit a forfeit, but
Hey.
forfeit's a forfeit.
Forfeit
Still
is
a win.
a forfeit. Take it any way you can get it. A win is a win.
Anyway, please stop.
Well, he's going to have a tough time getting a spot at that heavyweight position with Hayden Skillings, as long as, of course, hoping his injury is nothing serious.
Right, hopefully he heals fast. I told him to go home and cut that cast off, but he won't listen to me.
He won't do it.
Well, Bob would like to thank you for
Yes.
joining us and giving us real insight into wrestling, as we don't know a whole lot about it.
Oh, you guys are wily old veterans by this time.
I've been faking it for all this time. So.
I appreciate all you guys do. Our kids love being seen on TV.
Yep.
Coach Tronson loves seeing himself on TV.
Well, yeah,
too.
he tells us that all the time. He says more airtime for him.
Yeah.
But we really appreciate it. It adds so much to our broadcast, Bob, for you to be here, and of course, it makes it that much better. So we appreciate it.
Yep,
Thank
it's
you.
a lot of fun. Thank
Yep.
you guys. I
Cool.
appreciate it.
Well, we want to thank everybody out there for joining us. But first, we'll let you know what we have coming up. We got boys hockey on Saturday afternoon from Fogarty against the Blaine Bengals. Girls basketball back here at the Fieldhouse on Tuesday night as they host the Osseo Orioles. And then we'll see the boys hockey team again at Elk River on Thursday, the 26th. But that is going to do it for this edition of CTN Sports. Again, the final score, Coon Rapids 49, Champlin Park 20. I want to thank everybody out there for joining us and continuing to support everything we do here at CTN. For the entire crew, including Howie Shapiro, I'm Joe Young, saying goodnight.